Hi, Jenny here. Today we are going to make a chicken noodle casserole. Let's get started. For this recipe we are going to need 12 ounces of flat noodles, 1 to 1.5 large chicken breasts, 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, 1 cup of mayo, 1 cup of milk, half an onion diced, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, 1.5 cups of frozen mixed vegetables, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and half a cup of butter melted. For this recipe, we are going to boil the noodles separately and get those prepared. So I have a pot of water going for that. That's going to boil. And we're going to cook this in a 9x13 baking pan. And we are going to spray that. So I figured I'll get that ready while we're at it. So any type of non-stick baking spray. So I just have my little misto filled with some olive oil. So we'll have that ready to go. We are going to mix all these ingredients together in a large bowl before we pour it into our baking dish. So make sure that you have a large enough bowl that is going to fit all of those ingredients together. So while I start mixing some of the stuff, we'll get our butter melting. So again, that half a cup of butter is usually 1 stick. And in order to make it melt a little bit faster, I like to cut it up into about 1 tablespoon chunks. And I'll melt that in the microwave. So we'll get that going and then work on our other stuff. Whee! Oh, I'll cut this one in half. There we go. Try to spread them out some. Start with 30 seconds. See how melted that is and go from there. In the meantime, again, I will start mixing some of the ingredients in this bowl. Alright, microwave beeped, so that first 30 seconds is done. I did hear the butter sizzling a little, so we'll see where it's at. Sometimes if you let it also sit for a little bit, that residual heat will also help make it melt, as opposed to having to put it in there for longer. Obviously, with any of these ingredients, you can use whatever type of ingredients you have that you like. Mayo, you can use the mayo, you can use Miracle Whip, you can use full fat, lower fat. It'll all just depend on your taste. So some of these ingredients, like with the vegetables, I ended up getting a very large bag of vegetables. Granted, I couldn't even find, I don't think I could find a smaller bag of this type of mixed vegetable because, I don't know, well, we were looking at the store and I was finding the kind with, what do you call them, lima beans in there, which, I mean, lima beans are fine, but it wasn't what I wanted for this casserole dish. Also, my mom loves dishes with noodles in there. She loves these casserole type dishes, so I figured that I was going to make a batch for her, and I'm going to make a batch for my family, which is me and Wayne at this point in time. So anyways, I'm going to double this up, which I guess you could do, you know, yourself and all that too, just because of if you wanted to freeze one, trying to, you know, prepare those meals ahead of time, things like that. But, yeah, seeing as I was making 2 batches, I figured, well, then I also need the larger amount. So I need a bigger bag. Let's see if we can pour this. Same with the onion, because we only need half an onion. So I tried looking for either 2 small onions or 1 large onion. And figured, well, the 1 large onion will do. Depending what you can find at the store. A lot of the onions lately that I'm finding also have had some brown spots in them and stuff. So it's kind of like, we'll get the best looking onion that we can. And as far as the chicken, depends on how much chicken you want in your dish. I know when I've been making soups lately, the large chicken breast has been enough for one batch of soup. This recipe kind of called for like chicken of like one whole chicken that you cut up and then take it apart and add to your recipe. So we'll see. I might want to go with a half a breast more, but we'll see what it looks like once I get it all together. Let's see. Butter is mostly melted, but if I do this, so again, I like these type of dishes that you can kind of change it up a little bit, change up the ingredients so you get the basic idea, and then change it up to what you like. Add more vegetables, add more chicken. We have a different type of soup. Granted, this is going to be a chicken casserole, so the cream of chicken is good. I know you have the options of like cream of mushroom. What else is out there? I think I've seen cream of celery. So again, if you want to go with also a different type of a soup. Right, I hear the water boiling, so I will get those noodles going. Depending on how fast your oven heats up also, it'll depend on when you want to start your preheat. I figure once the noodles are about finished, then I will start the oven, because my oven doesn't take that long, depending on what else I need to get done. I don't want it being preheated and just sitting there for a while. So, alright. Get onions. I'm looking at the onion. That's next. Get the noodles poured in. Alright, I need my noodle catcher. I'll be back. Okay, let's go ahead and cut up the onion. This is a really big onion. See, even this onion, there's the discoloration inside. So, you know, it almost looks like it on the outside a little bit, but I don't know what's going on with onions these days. No. I don't know, this isn't normally how I would cut an onion, but we will. So I should go in the layers, take the layers out. We will figure it out. The fun of doing video. That's already what I have. I already was going to use a different onion for this recipe, one that I had sitting around for, I'd had it for a week. Somehow I was going to make a soup and I didn't. And then this last weekend I decided that, okay, I'm going to make a soup, so I made a white bean and chicken soup. And I had 2 onions laying there, so again, one was from a week ago, and then one we just bought at our last grocery trip for this recipe. And it ended up that the other one was bad. And so I had to use the onion I was thinking of for this one. So I had my husband stop after work last night and pick up an onion for me. I kind of wondered as I saw it after we brought it home and stuff, I was like, oh, it looks like there's some brown spots in there. We'll see what happens when we cut it open. So that's all right. It was a really big onion, so we have enough onion for our recipe here. But we shall see. You guys found that lately? Seeing any produce that has not been looking the greatest lately? All right, noodles are finished. So we will drain those and we'll get those in the mixture right away and then mix them up so that they don't get all sticky. I will finish cutting up some of this onion and get that in there. We'll go from there. Okay, we will get these noodles into our dish. Oh, okay. So I said you need a really big dish. Make sure you can hold all this. And we need our cheese. Should put that in there first, now it's going to melt. And the chicken. So we'll just kind of tear this up into little pieces. Again, you can take your chicken and just cut it up into pieces and cook it on the stovetop so you have like bite-sized type pieces. Or I like to cook my chicken in a crock pot so that I can cook all the breasts or the tenders or whatever at once. And then I have that ready to go for, again, whatever recipe I'm going to make. And then take out any of the red spots I see. But that way too I have the chicken good for whatever I want to eat. So sometimes I put it in my salads. Sometimes if I'm making soup recipes or like this, making a casserole dish. Or we just have chicken and vegetables for dinner. Something nice and easy. Back to when I was a kid, that's about what we used to eat. Just a lot of meat, potatoes, vegetables. Or noodles or rice. I should find something with rice in it to make. So I have my stove preheating then right now to the 350 degrees. Now that the noodles are all done, I figured that the only thing left was mixing this all up. See how much of it will go on the counter. Even with this big bowl. I probably should have mixed the soup in the... Should have mixed the soup and the milk and all that up first before adding the noodles. Silly me. I knew that. That's all right. It will still work. We'll make it work. We'll get it mixed up. Get everything coated. So the mixed vegetables I used for this one had peas and carrots and green beans and corn. That's so interesting too, when you go to the grocery store these days and like the frozen vegetable aisle. Well, there are so many choices. And you have some regular bags of vegetables, and now you have the steamer bags. So you can cook the vegetables right in the steamer, you know, right in the bag. But then even the choices that they have are just different. I'm like, man, it's almost like, take me back to my childhood when there were only, you know, regular bags, almost regular size. They may have had some family size bags of vegetables, but otherwise it was just regular size bags of vegetables. Only a couple different kinds. So like I said, it was hard to find. I didn't even find it this time in the store. I didn't find a small bag of the peas, carrots, corn. Like I said, I think one of them may have had the lima beans, which would have been fine. Kind of forgot the girls weren't here. They weren't going to be eating this. They don't care for lima beans. As far as us having extra vegetables. It's like I will have extra just regular vegetables there, which then again we can have with chicken or whatever, just on a plate. Okay. That's mixed up. My oven beeped. Let's pour this in our prepared pan. Ooh, oh, that's heavy. I think some of the butter stuck to the bottom of the pan too, so I didn't mix that all up first. It'll still all taste good for the next one that I make. Next one I make for Mom, that one will taste even better. Just don't want this flying all over. Make sure this is pretty much one single layer. And then we're going to sprinkle some breadcrumbs on top. Okay. I believe I need 1 cup of this. Let me grab my cup. My 1 cup measure is dirty, so we'll do 2 half cups. I like the way that the breadcrumbs add that extra crunch on top. That's so good. Whee! Why not? Put some on the counter. Yeah. Alright, so there we go. It's all ready to go. We will put this again in our 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. Alright, the oven beeped. Our half an hour is up. So, take a look. sizzling. Smells good. Alright, as you can see, I have my pot of noodles going for my second batch I'm gonna make. But we will let this one cool off for a little bit and then we can taste it. The chicken noodle casserole dish is done. So, looking pretty yummy tasty. Smells pretty good. I didn't want to cook it too long so that it got burnt. It seems like the breadcrumbs could have gone a little bit longer in there to brown them up a little bit more. But also, as I was going, as you could tell, that I forgot I was supposed to mix like all the liquidy ingredients first because the butter ended up melting to the bottom. And it was harder to mix when I had them all together with the noodles and the cheese in there and stuff. So mix your soup and mayo and milk and all that first. Add your chicken, onions, vegetables and all that. Add, mix all that up and your cheese. And then add your noodles last and mix all that up. It's been a while since I've made a casserole dish. In any case, let's see. Very tasty. I can taste the cream and chicken soup. Crunchiness of the onions. That's what that is. I'm like, what's crunching? I had the crunch of the breadcrumbs at first, but the onions are still crunchy. It's good, tasty. I don't know if I had any vegetables in there. I didn't taste any vegetables. The noodles. So it's good. It's a very comforting dish. Very like cozy. They need something just like, yeah. Need a little comfort food. That's what this reminds me of. It's very good, very tasty. I like this. My mom will very much enjoy this also. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will put the recipe down in the description below. And let me know in the comments if you guys like casserole dishes and what you like to include in there. What are your type of vegetables that you like? Like I mentioned, it was hard to find a small package of the peas, carrots, corn. Even just that. There wasn't even just that. It's either then you add the lima beans or like this one had the green beans in there. Which is fine. I like those too. But in any case, yeah, I'm going to go enjoy my lunch. You guys keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.